Here we are.
We're here.
On the couch. Again.
Take me to church, baby.
I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for that. Hey, what's up, all animals, and welcome back to our YouTube channel.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Jared, and you are now watching The Ben and Jared Show. So, we are back today with a new video about our top 5 favorite gay characters in television.
Or LGBT.
Gay. Encompassing all.
Queer, perhaps.
Gay.
LGBTQ plus.
All. Which is why it's called Gay Pride.
Can we just have a conversation about, drop in the comments about the connotation of the word gay versus all the other letters in it?
Gay.
Say gay, it
Anyway.
I'm just saying.
If you that sensitive and you don't feel like you fall under the gay umbrella, then that's your business, not mine. Now, these characters can span from any moment in television history. They can be on any type of a show. There's no particular guideline for the people we pick. The character themselves just have to be gay. The actor doesn't necessarily have to be, but the character which they play has to be absolutely gay. And we will be giving an explanation as to why we like that character or why we enjoyed that particular character or that show. And yeah.
Alright.
I'm sure we'll probably disagree on something.
I'm already ready to fight him.
But that ain't none of my business.
I'm already ready.
So, because we both come from a different time, I'm going to do mine first because mine are going to be, I'm almost certain, much more diverse and fall over a longer timeline than Ben's. So, my number 5 pick is my girl, Anissa Pierce, aka Thunder, from Black Lightning.
Oh, yeah. That is, I stand that. Love her. Love her.
So, she is a lesbian character who plays in a show called Black Lightning and also the comic book series Black Lightning. She is the daughter of Black Lightning himself, and her character has throughout the span of Marvel been, or excuse me, not Marvel, she's a DC character. Throughout the span of DC has been lesbian.
I love her.
So she's one of my favorite characters because not only is she black, but she's a lesbian. She's a superhero, which we don't have a lot of gay superheroes. So it's really cool to find one that is not only a woman, but is a lesbian.
Yeah.
And, you know, because we don't see that very often. Also, I really like her because I feel like she's very strong and assertive. And not only that, she's intelligent. She's extremely intelligent. And I love how dynamic her character is. And I love that her story on Black Lightning is like one that they don't mind digging a little deeper into.
Yeah.
Like, they don't brush around the fact that she's a lesbian. It's very in your face, and I appreciate that.
And I also like that it shows that she's not perfect in her relationships.
Yes.
And I like
messy,
it's real.
It's confusing.
It's real.
Yes, that is so true. I agree. So yeah, Anissa Pierce, I love you. You are my number 5 on my top 5 list.
Alright, I'm here for it.
My number 4 is Xena the Warrior Princess. So, he probably has no clue who Xena the Warrior Princess is because he is not cultured and I've not showed him Xena yet. He probably wouldn't like it anyway because he doesn't like superhero stuff, so... But for people like me, Xena the Warrior Princess is one of the coolest lesbian chicks on the planet and in television history. So, Xena the Warrior Princess is a show that ran in the early 90s and featured the main character Xena, who obviously is a warrior princess.
Okay.
And she goes on a journey with her bandmate, who happens to be a woman, although the show never actually confirmed that Xena was a lesbian, it is alluded to on many occasions throughout the show's history. And the actress who plays Xena later confirmed and stated that she believed that it was almost unequivocal that the character was a lesbian, and that she fully supported the theory that Xena was a lesbian. Xena also has a big cult following in the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
So
she's a community icon.
Yeah, so she's a big icon in LGBTQ history. So that's why she's my number 4 on my list of my top 5.
Okay.
Moving on. Oh, it's been a while.
It has been a minute.
Number 3 on my list of my top 5 favorite gay TV characters is none other than Albus Dumbledore. So for those of you who watched Harry Potter, I think everybody in the world has seen Harry Potter, if not read a book or two. Albus Dumbledore is the headmaster at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Initially, it was not confirmed by the author, who is now a problematic person, that he was gay, but later on, as the series expanded, it was confirmed that Albus Dumbledore was gay. I really like Albus Dumbledore. I've always had a soft spot for him because of his courage and his tutelage of Harry, and how smart and intelligent he was. And I always thought that he was very charismatic and wise and fearless. So for me, that's why he makes my top 3 on my list of top 5. And he's just really cool. I've always liked Albus Dumbledore. So.
Okay.
All right. Number 2 on my list of top 5 favorite gay characters in television history is Cyrus Beene.
Yeah. He's awful. He is literally awful.
So let me tell you why I love Cyrus Beene. Let me tell you why. Cyrus Beene is a character from a Shonda Rhimes show called Scandal. He's played by an actor named Jeff Perry, I believe. And Cyrus was probably one of the most iconic characters in that show. Reason being, Cyrus was like an old, nasty, evil queen. And he was always out to get anybody who stood in his way. And he was like a guard dog for the president, which I just thought was terribly interesting. The reason why I picked Cyrus is because I hated him so much that I loved him. He was so terrible that I couldn't help but to find qualities within him that I could identify with. And I'm like, okay, Cyrus, I see you. Like, you are what I would be if I wasn't afraid of laws and being arrested and jailed forever for the rest of my life. I would chew away at anybody who stands in the way of me being successful. So, Cyrus Beene, that is why you are my number 2, because you are dreadful, and I love it.
And he had the nerve to make his raggedy ass a Republican.
But he did end up being vice president before being arrested, so... I write for you, Cyrus Beene. I write for you.
No.
So...
Oh god, who's number 1? I'm not even ready.
So, number 1 on my list of my top 5 favorite gay characters in television history is Marco Del Rossi from Degrassi. So, for those of you who have never heard of or seen Degrassi, because you're probably very young, Degrassi was a show that was created in the 80s and then ended and recreated in the late 90s, early 2000s for the new generation, which they named Degrassi The Next Generation.
Which one was Drake in? The Next Generation?
He was in, this is the very same season and portion of the show that Drake was in his youth. He played a character named Jimmy, and Marco was another character in the show. So Marco's played by actor Adamo Ruggiero, I had a huge crush on Adamo Rogerio when I was a teenager. The character, for me, was one of the first representations of a gay teenager that I'd ever seen on TV, especially a pop culture series that was really successful. And it was like the first time I really got to see what life was like for a gay teenager. And it kind of just opened the door for me to understand what being gay really was at a time when I wasn't certain, you know, of exactly if that's who I was or not. So I really appreciated his take on the character and how the show handled his coming out. I always liked him because I thought he was cute, he was quiet, and he gave me like the whole innocent vibe. He's kind of nerdy. And like I said, he was just gay at a time on TV where there wasn't a lot of gay people. And he was around my age, and it just really helped me to find myself. So, I absolutely love Marco. And maybe one day I'll show you that show. I think you would really appreciate it.
I probably would.
Yeah.
You know I like a good teen drama.
Yeah. So, those are my top 5. And yeah.
Okay, so it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Anyway, so I thought it was really important to choose characters that were played by people in the community.
Okay.
Just because I think that's really important. However, number 5, I can't confirm if this actor or this person, how they identify in real life.
Okay.
But I wanted to get them just because I like the representation. And that, number 5, for me, would be Theo from the new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love Theo Putnam.
Yes. So I don't know if the person that portrays Theo is truly trans.
Theo is.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I have read up on Theo. Yes.
Okay. So I really like that, and the reason being is because I feel like there's very little trans masculine representation in media. That could be because I don't see it enough. Personally,
there's just not,
but I just don't see a lot of trans masculine, so I really like that representation there. And also, I like Theo's character; he's really cool.
I like
and I like that the writers are going into his story a little bit with that ancestor of his, kind of guiding him through this transition. And I like how it shows, like, hey, trans people have always been here, and there have always been, you know, people that identify this way. And I just really like the representation there. And he's a cool character, and he's a good guy.
I agree. I like Theo.
Yeah.
Theo's a real one.
So that was number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, from a problematic show, but I still like them, and that is Unique from Glee.
I love Unique Wade Adams.
I love Unique, but Glee we know now is a little... Because Ryan Murphy redeems himself, as we will.
I like Glee.
I like Glee for the time it was. But now looking back, we've grown a little bit.
What's wrong with Glee?
I mean, first of all, Mr. Shu is like, it's just problematic because, like, why are your teenage students in your wedding? That's just weird. Like,
they sung in his wedding. They're a choir.
Shu should have been arrested because that was kind of weird. And then he had that thing with...
What?
Listen, I like Glee for what it was, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Unique.
Anyways.
And, you have told me about Unique that how do they identify?
Unique Wade Adams, the actor who plays Unique's real name is Alex Newell.
Yes.
Alex Newell is a singer on Broadway and also does a bunch of other stuff. To my knowledge, Alex Newell is gender non-conforming.
Okay, so them would be proper they, them?
I could be wrong. If I am, please correct me in the comment section. But I believe Alex Newell is gender non-conforming, but presents in a feminine manner.
Okay, so. But I just really liked Unique. You know, the representation was there and it was good.
I love the bathroom episode.
I think
That's great.
I'm glad that Glee tackled that issue. To kind of see a real person being affected, so deeply, and how harmful that was to a real person. So I just really appreciated that representation. And Unique could sing her ass off.
Indeed, Unique could.
And I was here for all of it, and I thought it was great representation. And now, 2 characters from one show.
Okay.
And
so your number 3 is 2 people?
Number 3 and then number 2.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So, number 3 is P from Orange is the New Black, played by Samira Wiley. And she is a lesbian in the show, and she's a lesbian in real life. And her character, the representation was great, but her character had the best heart. She was so sweet. And what I like about Orange is the New Black is that it yes, takes place in a prison, but you get to see all of these nuanced stories of just the intersection of privilege. And so, you see the story about, oh my gosh, it's this, innocent little white girl going to prison, but that's not the point. The point is just to see the stories of these women who have had life circumstances who have put them in these places that are now in prison, and just, it's a great show, but P's character just had such a good heart and was so sweet and just a really good person overall, and was not a fan of her exit from the show. I'm not going to give any spoilers in case you haven't seen it. It tackled on a very important issue, but I've seen some people say it was kind of exploiting the issue. I don't know, but I love P and I love Samira Wiley, and yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff about that. I'll tell you about it after this. So.
Okay, because you're giving a lip full.
And then also from Orange, of course, Sophia, because it is played by none other than the amazing Laverne Cox. Sophia, we start, she's a little fun, and then you get to see kind of her story and, what happened and why she's in jail. And Laverne Cox can do no wrong in my book. I absolutely love her. But Sophia's character, even though I feel like it's a smaller role, we don't see much of her, the representation is really important to me. And I just like seeing her and interact with other women. And it's Sophia and it's Laverne Cox, and who better?
Okay, I'm here for it.
And then number 1, I could not choose just one, but I have dedicated my number 1 slot to the entire cast of Pose. And
okay. I'm here for Pose.
And that being said, it is because they are so much more than just trans women or gay men. They are nuanced, and they have lives, and they have whole other stories, to where, yes, the overtone is, we're set in this context of trans and gay people, but you get to see their stories in such a whole and full way. Whereas a lot of shows, it's like, oh, we're putting this character in because they are gay, and that is their character. You are here to be gay representation, and you don't have a story, you're just gay, or you're just trans. But with Pose, you get to see so much more about their lives and who they are as people, and I think that's really important, and goes to my point that Ryan Murphy has grown, and I think all of this is because Janet Mock is the one who is writing and directing the show. And I appreciate that she is doing this and able to just so greatly articulate the stories of these characters.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my top 5 of, representation. So I don't have it from a large variety of sources, but those are ones that just really stick out to me as really important representation.
I can dig it. So, now that we know your top 5 and my top 5, it is time for you guys to jump in the comment section and decide who are your top 5 between what we've offered and maybe some ones that we didn't offer.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other actors and actresses who have been in media and done gay roles that have changed the course of how we see things in television. And so I'm sure we've left out more than 20, 25, probably more than that. So if you guys don't mind, drop down in the comment section. Make sure that you list some characters that you really like or that you really enjoyed, and maybe some that you think we ought to know about that we might not know about. And yeah, so this was our top 5 favorite gay characters
or LGBT plus
in television. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We've got some more content coming for you. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below or in the corner or wherever I put it in this video. And we will see ya when we see ya.
We out this bitch.
Peace. Bye. You didn't do the bye.
Yeah, I did. I said, and I looked at you because that was like
That was dry.
Do you want to do it again? Anyway.